Hello, it's Will back at it with another video today. I'm here, I'm talking, that's what I do. This is the channel. If you've never been here before, it's Will Thunder Talks. I'm here to talk about things. I like to keep it low key, I like to keep it authentic. I like to talk about my feelings. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into it. Question today: what kind of brain rot holds you back? So, brain rot, phrase I've been hearing a lot, thrown around. So I'm going to define what I think brain rot is to begin with, so we're on the same page. Cool. So I think brain rot is essentially making you dumber through like doing things that overstimulate you, engaging with kind of nonsense content, being on autopilot, not really actively engaging in like what you're doing mentally, right? Because you're sensory overloaded and overwhelmed. So like, why am I asking this question today, right? Because like, I fall victim to brain rot sometimes. I watch dumb content, I watch YouTube shorts, I watch even like long form YouTube videos, and I get sucked into my phone. I lose a bunch of time, and like, it's annoying. I get really annoyed about this. I get really angry about this, because I'm like, man, I try and do a lot of good stuff for myself, but the phone still pulls me in. It still pulls me in, and I get really annoyed about it. And like, there's kind of some irony here, right? For me to like recording this video for YouTube, because you, listener, right now might be sucked into brain rot. Hopefully, this is brain rot content, but like, being on our phones, for me anyway, like has me feeling like brain rot, right? Like my brain feels flabbier, my brain feels less sharp and agile like post session of being on a phone, right? So that's like kind of how I'm defining brain rot here, of like being on my phone a lot. And like, sometimes I learn some really interesting things and some really interesting ideas, and that's like the bait of brain rot, right? So I feel like you go on your phone and you're like, oh, I'm bored, or I'm lonely, or I've got a negative feeling in me, whatever it is, right? And I try and journal them a lot, right? I'm writing them on my journal all the time, processing them. It's this thing I try and do every day. I get up and I empty my thoughts in my journal, and that's good and that's great, and that really helps reduce my engagement with my phone. But still, it snares me in at some point, and I'm like, man, come on, here we are again. And I'm on my phone, and bam, short leads to an hour of scrolling, and then I'm sat here frustrated, especially since like my days are quite structured and packed anyway. So it's like, I really don't want to like waste time where I can. And I talked about what time well spent is in the last video, but I want to not engage with technology as much. I guess I feel like currently the tech landscape is just making us dumber. Like, I feel like a little dumber in some ways. Like, I was trying to like learn a song earlier, right? And like, I play guitar and I can play guitar and I can play the chords, but like my focus is a little bit different. My focus isn't like, my focus is worse the more I'm engaging with technology. I think this is like really congruent with like a lot of what people are talking about in the sphere of this. It might just be my algorithm, but a lot of people in my algorithm on YouTube are like, hey, you know, AI specifically is making you dumber, but also the brain rot tech, you know, content landscape that we live in, it doesn't have us thinking that much or critically reflecting on things. And apparently test scores are not good for a lot of students, especially students who are using AI in their undergraduate degrees. You know, I just think about going back to my degree. Like, if I had AI then, man, I would 100% have used it. Like, I don't judge these kids at all, man. This genie that's out of the bottle, like, you know, if you're going to sit down and do an essay and you're like 19, and like, I was a gaming addict at the time, I would 100% do a ChatGPT essay over like sitting and struggling and procrastinating to the last minute with it. And I think now, like, you know, the brain rot's hitting me in a different way, you know, like, I find it so much harder to just be still. You know, I had a little gap there between me talking, right? Did you feel that gap? There it is, another one. it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to be with yourself in the silence sometimes. And I really try and wrestle myself at the start of the day to be with myself. But like, it's a wrestle, man. And I think it's so much harder because of the brain rot. Like there's an experience I had when I was younger, when I first learned guitar. The summer I first kind of really got the basics and the fundamentals in. And it was a summer when my laptop broke, or I thought it was broke. It wasn't broke. But I thought it was broke. I can't even remember how I came to that conclusion, but it was broke, okay? So I didn't have a way to game for a lot of the summer. And I learned how to play guitar that summer. All summer, I had nothing else to do. I had no stimulation. I was bored, so I just had to keep sucking at this guitar thing. And I'm so glad that laptop broke in retrospect now. I'm so glad it did. Because now, I get to play instruments. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have that laptop breaking. It's really interesting, isn't it? When some things go a certain direction in your life and it really changes the course of who you are forever. I think I'd be a very different person if I didn't engage in music in the way I do now. And that's because I had a broken laptop. And I guess I feel frustrated now because I feel like I can't be still enough in the boredom without me having to wrestle myself away from it, you know? And I can wrestle myself away from it, but damn, it's so much effort. I have to push so hard mentally all the time. I have to be no, it's in here. I know it's in here. I want to look at it. I literally recording a few videos, and I had the phone in here between videos, and I looked at it for 5 minutes, and I was like, no, and I just threw it in there, threw it in the other room, because I got sucked in, man. I got sucked in. And I know that's going to have shockwaves for the rest of my day of how present I'm going to be at my work, how present I'm going to be in my sessions. And I don't want to just try and dissociate all the time, right? I don't want to try and not be in the moment. I want to be present with people. I don't want less patience, I want more patience. And I guess my experience with my smartphone is that it reduces my patience. And that really bothers me because I feel, in my definition, that leads to more brain rot. Less patience, more brain rot. And it makes me quite sad because I think it takes a lot of the emotional engagement out of my life, right? It just creates this big static white noise over my existence that maybe helps me not feel bored, but also has me feeling empty, numb, and I don't want to feel numb. I want to feel anything but numb. And there are a lot of songs about that, and I think it's beautiful that there are, but it just makes me want to smash all of my technology, which is really ironic for me because I've been so pro tech my whole life, right? I studied a bit of programming. I did kind of marketing and then a bit of front end development programming and stuff like that at work, and I've been super pro tech. I love technology for what it's given me and what I can do with it, but man, sometimes I just want to be here and I don't want brain rot technology to pull me out. I really felt like tech used to be about possibilities, about what you could do, about what we could learn. The whole bank of human knowledge is at our fingertips. We can learn more than ever, and that's amazing. But our kind of social squares are now just nonsense. They're not helping me. I don't feel enriched. I see, the thing is, I very occasionally feel enriched by what I watch on YouTube because of my specific algorithms, but most of the time I don't. Most of the time it's some unga bunga crap, and I'm man, that was funny, but now an hour's passed. What am I doing? This isn't time well spent. I'm still alone, right? Or I'm not working on something valuable for me that's satisfying and building me up, right? It's just a quick shot of dopamine to keep me going, and I just don't want to. I don't want to be hooked on this like line of cheap dopamine. It feels bad. It feels bad, man. Like, I just want to, maybe I want to be on that bank more often in Cardiff. I talked about it last video. Maybe that's the antidote to brain rot. Maybe I need to just like be outside more. And I do plan events and I do go and do things, and I feel like my brain is less rotty in those situations, and I make more interesting connections, and I have a good time, and my brain functions. It's great. But there's so much time in between. And that in between time is when the phone creeps in. And then I'm in this frustration cycle. And I think this is part of what makes it hard for me to really turn off and regenerate sometimes as a person. It's like I'm in this environment at home, because I work from home by myself, and I just don't have any... I don't have anyone but myself. And like, that's great a lot of the time. I like alone time. But then that opens the window sometimes if I'm struggling or I'm tired or something's a little off for me to go on my phone. And that's frustrating for me. But yeah, what kind of brain rot holds you back? That's my answer to that question. Please put your thoughts in the chat. What kind of brain rot holds you back? Really appreciated you all being here, for if you are new or old. Take care of yourselves. Take a break. Stop watching a video after this. Just be away from your phone for a bit. It'll do you some good, I promise. You'll be uncomfortable, but it'll be okay. You'll get through it. I appreciate you. I care for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.